Before June ends, Archangel Michael says, watch closely. Someone close to you is not who they seem. Before June ends, a divine alarm has been sounded, not by human hands, but by the authority of heaven. A word has come forth in the still hours of midnight, when all is silent, when the veil is thinnest, when spiritual things whisper loudly to those who are awake. This word is not for the casual. It is not for the complacent. It is not even for the curious. This word is for the spiritually sensitive, for those who have felt a tremble in their soul, a disruption in their peace, and a sudden question mark where once there was trust. Archangel Michael, the warrior and guardian of divine truth, now steps forward with a message cloaked in holy urgency. The heavens have watched, recorded, and waited. And now, the time has come for revelation. Someone, yes, someone very near to you, has not been who they claim to be. They have been smiling in your face, laughing at your jokes, sitting beside you in moments both high and low. Yet their hand had been hiding something. Their eyes have wandered in envy. Their spirit has recoiled at your light. This is not conjecture. This is not suspicion. This is revelation, pure and holy. Understand, you are not paranoid. You are not imagining things. Your spirit has been sensing the shift. Your dreams have been hinting at shadows. Your peace has been disrupted not by accident but by divine intention, to make you pay attention. There is deception close, and the enemy has tried to cloak it in familiarity, in routine, in the comfort of closeness. But no more. The mask is slipping, and heaven will make sure you do not miss it this time. But there is a condition. You must stay silent. You must stay still. You must remain spiritually sober. Do not lash out in flesh. Do not speak too quickly. Do not attempt to confront what has yet to be fully revealed. For only in stillness will the truth come into view. Only in quietness will the unveiling be complete. Heaven is not asking you to fight right now. Heaven is asking you to watch. If your sleep has been broken, if your heart has set heavy, if people around you have felt sudden and familiar, this is why. If you sense something off without knowing why, this is why. If you've been questioning your own clarity, this is why. Heaven has been speaking. Your soul has been hearing. And now, through the voice of Archangel Michael, it is time to understand. This message will not resonate with everyone, and it is not meant to. But for the chosen, for the anointed, for the spiritually attuned, it is a holy interruption that cannot be ignored. Hear now, O listener of truth. Be still and let your spirit bear witness to what heaven is declaring. This is not coincidence. This is not imagination. This is divine interruption. Archangel Michael, heaven's warring guardian, the commander of truth, the slayer of serpent tongues, has been released to speak, to sound the trumpet, and to expose what has been hidden under false light. In the courts of heaven, there are times when silence breaks, not because man cried out, but because God chose to speak. This is one of those times. Before June ends, there will be an unveiling, a sacred lifting of masks, a revealing of what has long been concealed behind eyes that pretended warmth, hands that offered false peace, and voices that sounded like comfort but carried venom underneath. There is one close to you, yes, closer than most, who has wrapped themselves in familiar patterns, but heaven says they are cloaked. They are not who they seem. And in the next 48 hours watch, not with your eyes only, but with your spirit. Watch their patterns. Watch the pauses in their speech. Watch the shift in their eyes. Watch how they respond when your name is elevated, when your favor increases, when your light gets brighter. For some are not rejoicing with you. They are quietly retreating into resentment. This word is not sent to disturb you. It is sent to awaken you. It is not designed to provoke fear. It is commissioned to prepare you. For too long, the enemy has hidden in close proximity. For too long, the enemy has smiled while sowing seeds of sabotage behind your back. But the God of truth has watched it all. And now, through the sword of Archangel Michael, the dividing line is being drawn. What is hidden must come into the light. There are things you were never meant to miss again. Not this time. Not in this season. The warning is holy. The signal is clear. This word will find the one who hath been sensing the shift, the one who has felt the undercurrent, the subtle coldness, the delayed replies, the way their presence used to feel like home but now feels unsettling. If that's you, then heaven has locked eyes with your soul and marked you as chosen. You are not forgotten. You are not vulnerable. You are not wandering blindly. You are anointed. You are set apart. You are seen by heaven. Hear me now. The enemy thought if they stayed quiet, they'd go unnoticed. They thought if they smiled, you wouldn't see their clenched fist. They thought if they stayed close, they could keep collecting intel on your next move. But they forgot. God sees the heart. God examines motive. God listens to the whispers behind the door. And now, God has dispatched his warrior, Archangel Michael, to reveal it to you. Heaven had to break through the noise to reach you, because there's too much at stake. You're about to step into something greater, and God cannot allow snakes to slither into your promised place. This interruption is an act of mercy. This warning is a gesture of protection. This message is a whisper of deliverance wrapped in thunder. You must understand, the discomfort you've been feeling lately is spiritual. It's not mood swings. It's not just bad vibes. It's not overthinking. It is your discernment sharpening. It is your spirit aligning. It is heaven tuning your senses to recognize what's been hiding in plain sight. This moment is sacred. This message is a prophetic lifeline. You are being called not just to hear, but to perceive. Not just to suspect, but to see. There are truths that only come when you are silent, sober, and spiritually sensitive. And right now, that is your command. Be still. Be alert. Be covered in light. You will see what you were never supposed to miss again. You will recognize what once confused you. You will discern what once deceived you. Because heaven has spoken, and the time to watch has come. Let every soul who hears this be marked with divine clarity and celestial covering. Let your home be guarded. Let your peace return. Let your spirit rise with truth. If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel now for exclusive words, divine strategies, and regular spiritual updates that sharpen your discernment and strengthen your faith. Type "I am chosen" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 666 is now surrounding you. You felt it, haven't you? The strange stillness behind their words. The awkward hesitation before they respond. The smile that didn't quite reach their eyes anymore. The warmth that used to wrap you now feels like a distant wind. They haven't said anything wrong, but something feels off. You tried to shake it. You try to ignore it. You convince yourself it's all in your head, but your spirit won't agree. Something isn't right, and heaven is confirming it. There have been moments where you've looked at them and felt your heart whisper, "What changed?" They used to check in with joy. Now their words feel rehearsed. They used to cover you in prayer. Now there's silence when you succeed. When you speak of the blessings in your life, the air thickens. You see the subtle twitch in their expression, the careful way they change the subject. You've noticed the shift, even if they deny it. But your spirit has been screaming the truth behind the veil. Why did they pull back when your favor increased? Why did their support go cold the moment your confidence started rising? Why do they disappear when you're doing well and reappear when you're vulnerable? It is not by accident. It is not random. It is not unspiritual to recognize betrayal dressed in disguise. Heaven is revealing what you've been sensing in your soul, the emotional distance, the inconsistencies, the growing discomfort. It is all evidence of a deeper destruction. They are not who they once pretended to be. Someone close to you has misread your humility. They've mistaken your silence for weakness. They've watched your growth with secret irritation. While you were praying for them, they were plotting around you. While you were believing in their loyalty, they were privately questioning your worth. This is not said to harden your heart. This is said to sharpen your sight. You are not being paranoid. You are being awakened. You are not overthinking. You are discerning. You are not imagining a storm. You are standing in one. Let heaven make it plain. There had been subtle betrayal operating under the mask of closeness. Jealousy wrapped in friendship. Manipulation coated in care. Silence that punishes. Encouragement that secretly limits. They have seen your light and hated that they could not extinguish it. They've watched your transformation and resented that you didn't need them to rise. And now, instead of celebrating you, they're studying you. But listen now. Your spirit knew before your eyes confirmed. Your spirit has been grieving what your mind is only now realizing. The pain you feel is not confusion. It is clarity settling into your soul. You are not losing them. Heaven is exposing them. You are not being forsaken. You are being freed. The ache in your chest is heaven's hand removing the counterfeit from your circle. Archangel Michael stands with you, not to stir hate, but to anchor you in truth. Because what you're seeing is not just a broken bond. It is a broken assignment. They were sent for a season, not for the next elevation. They were allowed to walk beside you when you were in hiding, but now that your visibility is increasing, heaven is lifting the veil. Do not second-guess your discernment. Do not apologize for what your spirit exposes. Do not explain away what you now see clearly. You've grown too much to ignore spiritual signals. You've endured too much to silence your sensitivity. This moment, though painful, is sacred. You are being ushered out of emotional illusion and into prophetic clarity. The people who surrounded your former self may not be equipped to handle the anointed version of you that is emerging. So yes, cry if you must. Feel the ache. Grieve the gamut. But do not return to blindness. Do not shrink back into emotional survival when heaven is calling you into spiritual dominion. The peace you're fighting for cannot exist where jealousy festers. The joy that's ahead cannot coexist with hidden resentment. This is a divine disruption. This is a holy heartbreak. This is sacred subtraction before supernatural multiplication. Heaven is doing what you were too loyal to do, exposing what you were too kind to question, releasing what you were too afraid to walk away from, because you cannot carry false attachments into divine assignments. And the pain you're feeling right now, it's the pressure point where revelation meets reality. You are not crazy. You are covered. You are not broken. You are being rebuilt. You are not alone. You are surrounded by heavenly hosts who have warred for your clarity. If this message resonates with your spirit, and you'd like to help us share more divine content like this, consider giving a super thanks today. $10 goes a long way to help us continue. We are deeply grateful for your support. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And don't forget to subscribe. When you do, you're joining a tribe of spiritually sensitive believers who are walking in clarity, power, and divine purpose together. Type "I am shielded" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1414 has now been activated. What you are walking through is not just emotional. It is not just social. It is deeply spiritual. The shaking you felt in your relationships, the disruption of trust, the strange turns and shifting behaviors, they are not simply the result of misunderstanding or miscommunication. This is warfare. This is testing. This is heaven's spotlight revealing what once lurked in the shadows. And you must hear this with the fullness of your spirit. This is not a sign of your failure. It is a signal of your favor. The battle you're facing right now is not proof that something is wrong with you. It's confirmation that something is right. Your very presence has become light in a place where darkness was comfortable. Your words have pierced through pretension. Your prayers have disturbed what was once at peace in compromise. Your obedience has triggered a shift in the realm around you, and those who walk with hidden intentions can no longer stand the clarity you carry. The truth is, you didn't change to cause division, but your growth revealed what was always there. Your elevation became a mirror. Your light exposed what was lurking. Your transformation forced a reaction. So understand this deeply. This conflict is not random. It is sacred. It is strategic. Your light is exposing hidden things, and that is why this is happening. There are people in your life who were only comfortable with you when you were unsure of yourself, when you were small, when you were still trying to figure it out. But now that you're stepping into spiritual certainty, now that you're walking with divine confidence, their mask is cracking. They tolerated your survival, but they cannot handle your rise. They clapped for your pain, but they cannot celebrate your healing. They stood by your tears, but they turned cold at your laughter. Why? Because darkness always reacts when someone is marked by God. And you, child of light, have been marked. Your calling is not gonna noticed in the heavens or on the earth. That's why the air feels tense. That's why the conversations feel strained. That's why you feel like you're walking on spiritual eggshells around people who once felt safe. Their spirit knows what their mouth will never say, that you're being elevated, and they are being left behind. But let not your heart be troubled. Let your soul not fall into confusion, because heaven is not surprised. In fact, heaven orchestrated this moment. For there are seasons when God allows certain people to walk with you for a time, even though He sees their true intent. Why? Because they were part of your proving ground. Because your discernment had to be sharpened. Because your strength had to be tested in the quiet before it could be crowned in the open. You were divinely hidden until now. The reason this is happening before June ends is because the second half of this year cannot hold the same weights, the same warfare, or the same people who were attached to your former level. There's a line being drawn. There is a holy separation underway. Not to isolate you, but to insulate you. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Archangel Michael stands as a witness, watching every intention, recording every motive, measuring every action. The same angel that defended Daniel, that warred in the heavens for divine breakthrough, now walks with you. You are not unseen. You are not uncovered. You are not unarmed. God had been watching the entire situation. every side glance, every half-truth, every backhanded comment, every whisper in your absence. It has all been recorded. The things you couldn't prove. Heaven already knows. The conversations you weren't invited to. Heaven heard. The decisions made against you without your knowledge. Heaven documented everyone. This is not just about your personal relationships. It is about spiritual access. Who gets to walk with you when your next doors open? Who will carry your secrets when God begins unlocking favor over your life? Who will you trust in your elevation? That's what this moment is about. Heaven is purging your circle to protect your future. You've been praying for peace, and this exposure is the answer. You've been asking for clarity, and this shaking is the response. You've been longing for confirmation, and this conflict is the revelation. So hold steady, anointed one. Don't be distracted by the emotions of it. Anchor yourself in the truth of it. Your path is being cleared, and your spirit is being strengthened. What feels like loss is actually preservation. What feels like confusion is divine confrontation. And what feels like betrayal is the doorway to your next level of protection. The separation was necessary. The silence was holy. The exposure is sacred. And the outcome is already secure. Type I am seen in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1221 is now activated around you. The silence is not empty. It is loaded. It is tense. It is full of divine suspense. Do not misread this moment. You are in a spiritual hallway, between revelation and confrontation, between warning and witnessing. Something is coming to the surface. Heaven is pressing into the situation with urgency. Archangel Michael now declares, the mask is slipping, and what has been hidden is about to become undeniable. Heaven does not give warnings without reason. When Michael steps forward, he does not bring casual news. He brings heavenly warfare. And this is that moment. Before June ends, the truth will press through the cracks. The pressure will increase. The charade will tremble. And the one who has moved like a shadow near your soul, the one who has worn false loyalty like a costume, will no longer be able to hold their posture. They cannot hide any longer. They cannot pretend much further. They cannot wear the disguise in the presence of divine light. Watch closely, for by the end of this very week, something will shift. You will notice it. A conversation will falter. A truth will surface unexpectedly. Something seemingly small will happen, but it will be a holy clue, a moment that opens your eyes fully. It may come through a slip of the tongue, a strange coincidence, a missed lie, or an accidental truth. But it will come. And when it does, your soul will know, this is what heaven warned me about. Don't ignore it. Don't suppress it. Don't explain it away for the sake of comfort. What you are about to witness is the unraveling of a false covering. The facade they've kept up is fragile, and under the weight of your growth, your light, your elevation, it is breaking. There will be tension in the air. Conversations may feel heavier. People will seem agitated by your peace, irritated by your joy, and distant when your name is praised. It's all a signal. It's all revealing. Archangel Michael says, watch and do not move. Listen and do not speak. Stand but do not confront yet. Heaven is setting the stage for full disclosure. And your role is not to interfere. Your role is to observe. Do not interrupt what God is unfolding. Don't let emotion rush what heaven is still exposing. Your silence is not weakness. It is strategy. And your restraint will be honored by the heavens. They are preparing something. Yes, there's activity behind the scenes. They are calculating their words. They are planning their narrative. They are positioning themselves as innocent. But what they don't realize is that heaven is preparing something too. God is setting a trap not to destroy, but to reveal. The truth will catch them before their plot even leaves their lips. They don't realize that while they were making moves in the natural, heaven has already shifted the atmosphere in the spirit. Angelic forces have been assigned. Surveillance hath been activated. Michael has drawn his sword, and the moment of reckoning draws near. You are not to act in haste. You are not to retaliate. You are not to seek vengeance with your own hands. The instruction from above is clear. Watch and prepare. Heaven is handling the exposure. You are only required to remain positioned. Watch what they say when they think you aren't listening. Watch how they move when you show restraint. Watch who surrounds them when your name isn't mentioned. Watch how their actions betray the loyalty their words once promised. And be warned, they may try to bait you, to trigger you, to make you question your insight. That is part of the final deception. The spirit of confusion may try to blur your clarity. But now that you've received the word, you are accountable to protect it. Guard your peace. Guard your posture. Let the revelation speak louder than your reaction. For soon, very soon, what they've tried to hide will no longer remain hidden. Soon, very soon, their true nature will emerge through their own actions. Soon, very soon, heaven will shine a light that no mask can withstand. You have nothing to fear. You are not the target. You are the testimony. You are not being attacked. You are being aligned. What looks like betrayal is simply a divine clearing of your path. What feels like discomfort is the preparation of a holy release. And when the moment comes, you will not need to explain. You will not need to defend. You will simply stand in the stillness and say, Heaven showed me before it happened. This is your moment of spiritual intelligence. This is your call to prophetic precision. The trap has been set, and not by you but by the hands of the righteous judge. Wait on the Lord. Watch their steps. Trust your spirit. Heaven is moving. Type I will watch and not react in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 777 is covering your household now. This is the hour where your protection is not found in shouting, but in silence. Not in exposure, but in discernment. Not in emotional retaliation, but in spiritual strategy. Hear this clearly, heaven has not left you vulnerable. Archangel Michael has not released this word and left you uncovered. No, you are being instructed for preservation. You are being guided into holy defense. The Lion of Judah roars over your destiny, but right now, the Lamb in you must walk with wisdom. Your silence is not passive. It is a weapon. It is a spiritual shield. It is the mark of those heaven trusts to carry deep secrets and handle great exposure. When the enemy moves, he expects you to react. But the anointed do not respond like the average. The chosen do not lash out like the untrained. And right now, Archangel Michael is placing a commandment over your tongue. Do not speak unless led. Do not reveal what God is still concealing. Do not confront what heaven is still managing. Be still. Withdraw from unnecessary conversations. Do not let your words wander in frustration. Do not let your flesh expose your position. Heaven is doing more behind the scenes than you know, and your stillness gives heaven room to work. The divine plan is delicate right now. One misstep of emotion can cause you to delay the revelation heaven is crafting in your favor. Pull back, not from fear but from wisdom. You must observe without announcing. You must retreat without disconnecting. You must move like royalty, slow to speak, quick to watch, covered in grace, surrounded by fire. Your silence is not weakness. It is the highest form of obedience in this moment. The Holy Spirit is guarding your tongue because your tongue carries the power of agreement. If you speak too soon, you may unintentionally come into agreement with what is false. That is why heaven says, hold your peace. This is also the time for spiritual sight. Ask for discernment. Ask for spiritual decoding. Not everything is as it seems. The words they speak may sound pure, but the spirit behind them is laced with jealousy. The smile they give may appear genuine, but the root beneath it is laced with competitiveness. Don't judge the presentation, discern the presence. Ask yourself, what do I feel after I leave their space? What happens to my clarity after I hear their voice? Do I feel closer to God or more confused? These answers matter more than appearances. Your discernment is your survival now. Heaven is whispering. The Spirit is nudging. Pay attention. And while you are watching, cover yourself. Speak these words aloud. I am shielded. I am sealed. I am unseen by darkness. Say it until the atmosphere bends around your words. Say it until your spirit rises and fear flees. Say it until your emotions align with heaven's instructions. There is a grace covering you now, a veil of divine camouflage. While the enemy plans in secret, you are being hidden in plain sight. Heaven has drawn a line around your soul and declared, touch not my anointed. But you must stay under this covering. You must not break rank. Stay in alignment with divine instruction. Let your weapons be spiritual. Let your watchfulness be your wall. Let your prayers be your posture. Let your discernment be your defense. Do not retaliate. Real justice is coming. Do not confront out of timing. God will give you the moment, and when He does, your words will be like arrows of clarity. Do not share your suspicions widely. Not everyone deserves to know what you know. Let the enemy wonder. Let the serpent squirm. Let those who plotted in shadows begin to question your calm. The most dangerous person in warfare is the one who knows what's happening, but refuses to flinch. Archangel Michael whispers now, you are protected by silence. You are shielded by wisdom. You are cloaked in holy fire. They will not see your rise coming. They will not anticipate your next move. They will not survive the weight of their own deception, because heaven has sealed you in. And while they plot, you will prepare. While they scheme, you will rise. While they spiral, you will soar. So speak not with anxiety. Move not in panic. Choose stillness as your sword and discernment as your armor. For in just a little while, what they meant for harm will become your holy upgrade. And you will rise not by confrontation, but by revelation. Type I am shielded and silent in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 1919 is being released over your mind and surroundings. Listen to me now, chosen one. You are no longer who you were. That version of you that tolerated hidden betrayal, that gave endless chances to half-hearted loyalty, that whispered your dreams in the company of counterfeit confidants, that version of you had been laid to rest. You are rising now. You are stepping into a new realm of clarity, a higher dimension of strength, and a fresh season of divine empowerment. The fire you walked through did not destroy you. It refined you. The silence you endured was not wasted. It sharpened you. This is the shift you didn't see coming. This is the upgrade that the pain disguised. This is the transformation they didn't expect. While they were busy watching your routines, heaven was rewriting your identity. While they were trying to dim your influence, God was expanding your territory. You were not breaking down. You were breaking out. You weren't falling apart. You were shedding your former self. What they thought was your weakness was actually your womb of rebirth. Like a phoenix, you were reborn silently. Yes, quietly, in the dark, in the tears, in the hidden places where no one applauded and no one noticed. Heaven did its greatest work in you while everyone else assumed you were fading. But look at you now, still standing, still pressing, still anointed. You did not just survive, you transformed. And this is why the tension has increased. This is why some around you cannot seem to connect with you like before. You are no longer vibrating at the same spiritual frequency. What once made sense no longer fits. The jokes, the habits, the cycles, they all feel foreign now. Because you've been shifted. Because God has elevated you internally before He does it externally. There is a new oil on you now. A new weight of glory. A new authority that does not require permission. Your discernment is stronger. Your spirit is more alert. Your walk is more intentional. And for some, that change feels threatening. They don't know how to relate to this new version of you, because their access was tied to your old identity. They were comfortable when you were confused. They were secure when you were seeking validation. But now, your confidence is unsettling their control. Now, your peace is louder than their manipulation. And heaven says, this is not your burden to carry. Do not dim to make others comfortable. Do not shrink so others don't feel insecure. Do not backtrack just to make old environments feel familiar again. You owe no one an apology for your growth. Let it be known. You are anointed. You are protected. And you are rising in power. The enemy tried to interrupt your process, but God turned it into preparation. The betrayal you experienced didn't stop you. It taught you. The rejection didn't ruin you. It redirected you. You now know how to spot fake loyalty with one glance. You now sense shifts in the spirit before words are spoken. You walk with heaven's backing, and your presence alone shifts atmospheres. This is not arrogance. This is not pride. This is what happens when someone walks in alignment with the voice of God and the timing of heaven. This is your strength season. You are not fragile. You are not falling apart. You are being elevated with intentional power. And this strength isn't just emotional. It's prophetic. It is the kind of strength that shakes the enemy without you saying a word. It is the kind of strength that intimidates false alliances. It is the kind of strength that keeps you anchored while others lose their footing. Archangel Michael now surrounds you not just as a guardian, but as a witness to your rise. Heaven has documented your endurance. The angels have seen your restraint. And now, they are watching over your movement as you step into a new dimension of divine dominion. So walk tall. Breathe deep. Lift your head. The season of minimizing yourself is over. The time of questioning your worth is done. What they tried to dim, God is now revealing. What they tried to sabotage, God is now multiplying. You are stepping into rooms that your warfare prepared you for. You are receiving favor that your silence preserved. You are accessing clarity that your prayers birthed. This is not the time to retreat. This is the time to rise. You are no longer who you were, and the heavens are rejoicing over your transformation. Type "I am rising in power" in the comments if you receive this message. Blessing code 888 is now active over your destiny. Now listen with the ears of your spirit. Heaven does not reveal without purpose. God does not uncover without intention. When Archangel Michael steps into the narrative, it is never for mere awareness. It is always connected to advancement. And now, with divine clarity, the prophetic curtain is being pulled back. This exposure is part of your promotion. Yes, the shaking wasn't just to warn you, it was to usher you into the next dimension of purpose. The silence wasn't just for stillness, it was to position you for clarity and the unveiling of the hidden hearts around you. It wasn't to break you, it was to build you for elevation. You are not just being protected from falsehood, you are being prepared for greatness. Heaven says, I allowed the disturbance because I am moving you higher. You prayed for increase, didn't you? You asked for acceleration, didn't you? You cried out for clarity, authority, favor, and God heard. But what you didn't know then, what you're only now beginning to understand, is that every prayer you prayed required the removal of what couldn't come with you. It required the clearing of the hidden sabotage. It required the unveiling of deception that had made itself comfortable in your inner circle. This is divine disturbance, not punishment. God is rearranging things because the room you're about to walk into cannot have polluted voices speaking over your vision. What's ahead demands clean alignment, sacred atmosphere, unbroken focus. So the betrayal is part of the blueprint. A shift is part of the launch. The exposure is part of the assignment. Heaven is saying, you will be vindicated without lifting a hand. You won't have to explain. You won't have to beg for understanding. You won't have to plead your case. God is your defense. Archangel Michael is your witness. And the fruit of your life, the evidence of your favor, will speak louder than any lie ever told against you. Even now, in realms unseen, angels are testifying on your behalf. The courts of heaven have heard every accusation, every misjudgment, every slander whispered in hidden corners. And the verdict has already been written. My child is clean. My child is rising. My child is covered. This is the season of divine unlocking. Doors that were bolted are swinging open. Relationships that hindered are being divinely dissolved. Paths that were fogged are now being lit by the fire of the Holy Spirit. You are being called forward, not just into new assignments, but into a new authority. The version of you that doubted has died. The version of you that sought constant approval has been buried. Now, heaven introduces you as one who walks with unshakable clarity and unbreakable peace. The very ones who tried to bind you with confusion will watch as God blesses you with visibility. The very ones who mocked your discernment will witness your spiritual promotion. The very ones who underestimated your resilience will see the evidence of God's hand all over your life. This is what heaven means when it says prophetic reversal. You're not just bouncing back, you're being catapulted forward. And you're not stepping into rooms to ask for acceptance. You're walking in as a carrier of divine presence. Where you go, light goes. Where you speak, truth lands. Where you plant, favor grows. There is heavenly recognition now surrounding you. Archangel Michael declares, your name has been whispered in the courts of heaven. Yes, your name. Not because of your perfection, but because of your posture. You remained faithful. You didn't curse what hurt you. You didn't retaliate against betrayal. You stayed still when it would have been easier to strike. And that obedience, its stillness, its surrender, it has been recorded in eternity. You were seen when no one defended you. You were heard when your voice was shaking in prayer. You were covered when you didn't even know what you were being protected from. And now, the reward begins. Vindication is coming, not just in whispers, but in waves. Clarity is coming, not just in feelings, but in facts. Honor is coming, not just from man, but from heaven itself. You were never forgotten. You were never alone. You were never unguided. This is your prophetic moment. The vision is opening. The veil is lifting. And God is saying, "This is why I warned you. This is why I protected you. Because what's next is holy, and it must be preserved." If this message has confirmed what your spirit already knew, and you'd like to sow into more prophetic truth like this, consider giving a super thanks. Even a gift of $5 helps keep these messages coming strong. We honor and appreciate your support. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And be sure to subscribe. When you do, you're not just staying informed, you're joining a spiritual community led by truth, discernment, and divine strategy. Type "I receive heaven's revelation" in the comments if you feel this word is for you. Blessing code 3030 is unlocking over your life now. This is your call to rise, not emotionally, but spiritually. Not impulsively, but intentionally. You are being summoned into the place of activation. You are standing on the threshold of destiny, and the door is not opening through connections or credentials. It's opening through alignment. Divine destiny is not handed to the idle. It's unlocked by the obedient. Heaven says to you, this is the moment your yes becomes your weapon. Not the yes to people. Not the yes to comfort. Not the yes to popularity. But the yes to divine instruction. The yes to uncomfortable growth. The yes to separation that doesn't make sense to your natural mind. The yes to God's leading even when it feels lonely. Hear this in your spirit. You are not in a delay. You are in activation. The resistance you're feeling isn't rejection, it's redirection. God is turning your attention from what was safe into what is sacred. This season has not been about convenience. It's been about consecration. Heaven is activating something in you that cannot go back to the old. Something irreversible. Something holy. Something weighty. This is the place where your declarations matter. The spirit realm is listening. The angels are waiting. The Holy Spirit is hovering. What you say now determines what will be built next. Begin to declare, I align with heaven's truth. I yield to divine instruction. I will not miss this moment. Every yes you give to heaven's way sends a ripple through the invisible. Every agreement you make with truth unlocks a new measure of favor. Every refusal to bow to your emotions fortifies the foundation of what you are about to walk into. God has not just been preparing doors for you. He's been preparing you for the doors. You've been crying for movement. But heaven says, I've been building your voice, your discernment, your endurance. Destiny is not handed to the unprepared. The reason the betrayal felt personal is because your calling is precise. The pain was permission to access a deeper grace. You had to be refined. You had to be tested. You had to be trained in the silence so you wouldn't break under the spotlight. Now, Archangel Michael stands by not just to protect but to escort. Your next steps are ordered. Your movement is authorized. But only as you walk in alignment. Alignment activates overflow. Alignment releases angelic assistance. Alignment shatters old cycles and establishes divine rhythm. You must not delay obedience. Heaven is waiting on your rise, not your retreat. The season of questioning yourself is over. The time for begging others to see your value is gone. Your worth is not up for discussion. It's been settled in the courts of heaven. So rise. Take your position. Don't wait for external confirmation. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait for approval. Heaven has already said yes. And when heaven said yes, no man, no friend, no enemy, and no betrayal could revoke it. You have been authorized. Now you must move like it. Speak with purpose. Walk with power. Pray with fire. Declare with boldness. The time for shrinking is over. The time for doubting is past. This is the moment to command your soul into position. Let your mouth speak heaven's rhythm. I align with truth. I agree with heaven. I will not be denied what has my name on it. Let this be the moment that marks the shift in your life. From reaction to strategy. From fear to fire. From waiting to walking boldly. Your yes is your warfare. Your agreement is your advancement. You've been tested. Now it's time to be trusted. Type I align with heaven's truth in the comments if this moment is your activation. Blessing code 1717 is now released over your life and destiny. Now we shift to what the natural eye cannot see, what the flesh does not perceive. You may feel like nothing is happening, but in the spirit realm, the movement is constant. Heaven is active. The angels are moving. The spirit is brooding. Even when you sleep, even when you scroll through life in quiet reflection, even when you cry yourself into silence, heaven is at work. The silent exchange has already begun. Let me show you what your spirit has already discerned. The unease in your rest, the strange heaviness in your dreams, the disconnection from old atmospheres. These are not accidents. Your soul is catching up with what your spirit has already seen. There has been a negotiation in the spirit realm. A shift. A divine trade. Heaven is restoring what was stolen. Heaven is reclaiming what was silenced. Heaven is repossessing what was hijacked by deception. What they took, God is returning in glory. And not just returning it as it was, but in multiplied form. Your peace is being restored with power. Your discernment is being renewed with precision. Your voice is being amplified with authority. Because heaven does not return things in pieces, it returns in fullness. And while they thought your silence meant defeat, it was actually the soil of divine rebuilding. You've been asking why your sleep has been disrupted, why your heart keeps feeling stirred, why random memories of betrayal keep replaying in your spirit. It's not trauma, it's divine transference. God is rewiring what you once called pain and turning it into purpose. Heaven is issuing exchanges. For every tear, a testimony. For every betrayal, a breakthrough. For every lie spoken over you, a layer of glory added to you. This is not your imagination. It is an unseen battle for your forward movement. Archangel Michael is in the fight. Angelic assignments have been released. You are not alone in this. The warfare is proof of your next dimension. Heaven says, be quiet in the natural, so we can roar in the spirit. This is why your name has been on your own mind lately. Why you feel like your spirit is moving ahead of your body. Your destiny is stretching. Your future is unfolding. And the spirit realm is going ahead of you to prepare the path. Even now, angels are clearing rooms before your feet enter. They are shutting mouths that were sent to sabotage. They are lifting veils off people so you can see who is real. And here is the mystery, the protection you prayed for weeks ago. It's happening now, in silence. The healing you cried for in frustration. It's being poured over you now, in your rest. While the enemy is distracted trying to provoke a reaction, you are being protected in stillness. Heaven is weaving your next season without an audience. So don't be discouraged by who's missing. Don't question the delays. Don't panic over the silence. In the quiet, God is building what noise would have contaminated. This silence is not void. It is sacred construction. You are being prepared. You are being positioned. You are being protected in divine mystery. The unseen is working on your behalf. The silence is strategy. The delay is protection. The exchange is underway. Type "I trust heaven's timing" in the comments if you feel this exchange is for you. Blessing code 2323 is active and covering your sleep, your sight, and your soul. It's time to say this plainly. What they planned has boomeranged. The very schemes they crafted in secrecy, the very manipulation they wrapped in friendly words, the very lies they packaged in false smiles, they have begun to fall back upon their own heads. This is not your doing. This is not karma. This is not coincidence. This is spiritual justice. Archangel Michael stands now as a witness in the courts of heaven, lifting the scales, and the balance is shifting. Righteousness is tipping the weight in your favor. Vindication is not coming. It has already begun. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to prove yourself. Heaven has already ruled in your favor. Hear this by the Spirit. When God begins to move in justice, He moves publicly. For every hidden attack, there will be visible reward. For every tear cried in silence, there will be celebration in the open. For every time your name was whispered in manipulation, heaven will declare your name before kings and doors you did not knock on. You are walking into a divine reversal. From overlooked to overblessed. From betrayed to beloved. From underestimated to unstoppable. This is not payback. This is recompense. God is not seeking revenge. He is establishing justice. He is making sure that every fiery dart thrown at you becomes a step in your divine staircase. Nothing has been wasted. No rejection was without reward. No dishonor came without a heavenly response. What they thought would break you has become the very evidence that you are chosen. You need to understand this in your core. Spiritual justice doesn't wait for applause. It moves with power. It doesn't ask permission. It doesn't require approval. And when it begins, nothing, and no one, can stop it. Not lies. Not manipulation. Not control. Not even the enemy's access can override heaven's verdict. God has seen the unseen. He has recorded the unspoken. Every motive hath been exposed before him. Every intention has been weighed, and heaven has responded with favor over your name, over your path, over your purpose. Don't be surprised when the same people who counted you out begin to inquire about your rising. Don't be shocked when those who dismissed your voice now seek your wisdom. This is divine reversal, and it's happening now. Some who once betrayed you will try to reattach themselves to your journey. But you must remember what God revealed. This isn't personal vengeance. This is divine clarity. The tables are turning because they were always meant to. And you, child of light, are being seated at a table in the presence of those who once underestimated you. Your anointing is being honored. Your obedience is being rewarded. The seasons of hidden pain have birthed public favor. Your story will not end in sorrow. It will be saturated in supernatural success. Even now, angels are shifting circumstances. Conversations are being restructured. Hearts are being softened. Favor is being redirected. Heaven is orchestrating reversal in your favor, not for ego, not for pride, but for God's glory through your life. Because you didn't quit. Because you didn't retaliate. Because you stayed the course. Heaven is making your name a testimony. You will be able to say, "They thought I was buried, but God was planting me." You will be able to testify, "They plotted my exit, but God was planning my entrance." Everything they whispered has become heaven's witness. And now the shift has come. You are walking into undeniable victory. You are standing in the middle of divine justice. And nothing, no one, no lie, no shadow, can overturn what God has ruled. If you've been blessed by this word and feel led to support the mission, consider giving a super chat or super thanks. Even a one-time gift of $20 helps us bring more prophetic words your way. Thank you for standing with us. Also, if you'd like to support what we do, you can make a difference by donating through the support here link in the description of this video. Every contribution helps us keep creating and sharing more with you. And don't forget to subscribe. These revelations come often, and we don't want you to miss the clarity, strategy, and strength that heaven is releasing here. Type divine justice is mine in the comments if you feel this word was for you. Lesson code 4444 is sealing your victory now. You were shown this for a reason. You were awakened for a purpose. Heaven didn't send this word into your path by accident. It was directed, deliberate, divine. Because God loves you too much to let deception remain undetected. He honors you too deeply to let betrayal remain unchallenged. And so, in His mercy, He revealed the hidden, so you would not walk into your next season entangled by what was meant to be left behind. You are not alone. You are not navigating this without guidance. You are not discerning in your own strength. Heaven has assigned angels to you. Archangel Michael has gone before you. The Holy Spirit is within you. The divine hand of God is around you. May your eyes see clearly. May your spirit stay strong. May your soul rest in the knowledge that you are sealed, seen, and sent. This season required sharp discernment. It required uncomfortable separation. It required silence that stretched your emotions and isolation that matured your faith. But now you walk forward with your head lifted, your steps ordered, and your confidence anchored in something eternal. You are not just a survivor of betrayal. You are not just someone who noticed a shift. You are a divinely chosen vessel, called to carry light in dark places, truth in a world of facades, and wisdom in the middle of warfare. You were not just spared from pain, you were preserved for purpose. You are equipped. You are elevated. You are empowered. So rise boldly. Step into the remainder of this month with clarity. Walk into the next chapter with confidence. Let those who tried to confuse you watch as God crowns you. Let those who tried to silence you witness your rising. Let those who misread you realize that they were never fighting you. They were resisting the anointing on your life. Heaven moves with you now. The Spirit leads you. The blood of Jesus surrounds you. And the truth has made you free from deception, from delay, from emotional attachments that no longer carry divine approval. So stay alert. Stay ready. And know this, heaven walks with you. The kingdom backs you. And the next doors that open will make sense of every closed one you cried over. This is your confirmation. This is your clearing. This is your release. Type I am sealed by heaven in the comments if you receive this message. Lesson code 5555 is completing this divine cycle over your life.